me fly.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Warrior Women in Business podcast, episode 75. This is actually a very special episode. This is our first member spotlight, so I'm super excited to talk to Donna Thorell today, who I know all of you will love. She has a lot to bring to the table, especially around the last event that we ran. If any of you attended, first of all, thank you. And second of all, if you didn't attend, the videos are online, and also our online silent auction is online through the month of February. So my name is Jasmine Sandler. This is Warrior Women in Business. Warrior Women in Business is a subset of JS Media, my main company, which is a premier executive branding business that's been around since 2006. And Warrior Women in Business came about to really help women in business and women in the arts thrive economically by bringing female executives and thought leaders to support their needs, as well as like really interesting programs, and most importantly, for women in business to connect with each other and help each other. So we have a membership program. We also have events. We have amazing partners. I love our partners. So women's organizations around the world that we work with to come and curate really interesting events. I call them educational entertainment. So there's always some educational piece. There's definitely entertainment, and there's always a charitable event. So if you missed our last event, it actually supported the New York City Mayor's Office, of which Warrior Women in Business has been a partner since 2019, specifically with their NGBV division, which supports the end of domestic and gender-based violence. And specifically for them this month, in February, we've been supporting Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. So it's all a mouthful, but that's what we've been doing. And so we had an event. My band played. We had 4 amazing bands. We launched part of our new fashion line. We launched the jewelry piece of our fashion line, which is designed by Sarah Jones Thomas, who is a partner of Warrior Women in Business. And it was an amazing event. And we had, I think, like 25 different companies that I knocked on their door and asked them if they could give to this cause, and they did. So we had a lot of folks that did bid on site, but we now have still pieces remaining and really cool things. So if you go on Warrior Women in Business, you'll see the silent auction. It's good through the month of February, and the proceeds go to the mayor's office, specifically that NGBV division. So that being said, I want to jump right into today's guest, and at the end of this episode, I'm going to announce some really cool things we have coming up as well. So today's guest and Spotlight member is Donna Thorell. Donna is involved with, and she can say this better than I can, but very much the way I see what you do is holistic healing, and it's really looking at the trauma from the inside out. And we talk about that a lot, actually, on Warrior Women in Business, because, business is definitely, business and psychology go hand in hand. And the way that you feel mentally, 1,000,000,000% affects how you run your business. So I thought Donna would be an amazing person to start our lightning round member spotlight series. So Donna, if you want to quickly give an introduction, say hello, an introduction to yourself, and how did you get into what you do today?
Sure. So my name is Donna, and I live in Florida. I have been in the health and wellness field for over 20 years, and my passion has always been looking at the root cause of things. When you go to the doctors and they tell you you're crazy, or you're emotional, or you're just being female, and realizing that there's something else that's really there, and not wanting to be that person that's always taking medications and things, and living with secrets in your life, like not being able to share things, and just the whole trauma. So growing up, having grown up that way, and going into adulthood, realizing I was being held back by all that, but everybody was looking at it as just another woman's problem. So I decided to shift my purpose from medicine to holistic. And the women I work with now, they're very high performing. They're in high ranking places. However, they're being held back from their full potential because of inflammation, headaches, stress, coming out in anxiety and depression. And again, doctors just want to fill in with medicines and stuff, and they come to me asking, what can you do? And I literally go to the inside and say, let's find the root cause. And once we can regulate that root cause, whether it's trauma-based or just work stress-based and not being able to handle your nervous system, that's where we start working. And oftentimes within a short period of time, they can flip that switch and they become like this sovereign beast. I call them that all the time, but they really can just hone in because they're not having all those symptoms anymore. They're actually very healthy, very empowered. They come to it with clarity, not with exhaustion. And they look forward to being back in their jobs and creative. They're very creative. But they lose that when they're going through all the internal stuff, because whatever happens in the stomach goes to the brain. Whatever goes between the stomach and the brain comes out in your skin. So I did go back to school for esthetician to get the whole body, because my firm believing is we need to ground the body from the inside out, and it includes all major organs, and your skin is your organ as well.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
You actually you look better, you feel better, and that's where I've been coming from, and that's what I really designed my business on.
So what's interesting that you were talking about, and thank you for sharing, is we talk a lot on the podcast because, generally the podcast, I'm interviewing executives who are very busy, and as am I, and talking about making decisions. And I think I'd like to hear, and you don't have to give any names, but at all of your clients, but just, working with these high-powered women, how do you help them regulate when they have to make so many decisions? Because I think that's a thing we talk about a lot. Like, how do you lead by making, the right or wrong decision, whatever it is, and there's so many decisions that a business owner and executive has to make every single day. Is that something that comes up, and how do you address that?
Oh, yes, it comes up all the time.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so I have been actually privileged to be able to go into a situation where I come at it as we are not individuals, we are a team. When someone comes to me, we become teammates. And whatever they're going through, I'm going through it with them. So we do the whole consultation, and we figure out what's really the underlying cause. And oftentimes, as you're getting one-on-one time, and it's a whole day of actual digging in, and you find out what the problem is, it's the sense of not being safe in their own skin. They're anxious over not having that safety and feeling empowered. So we start doing grounding exercises, and neuroregulation exercises really are just learning how you can settle your nervous system when something stressful comes in your way. So we will take walks outside, vitamin D, and grounding. The earth has so much energy in it. You take your shoes off and you walk, you would be shocked at the amount of energy your body just gets from that. I tell everybody, go back, and I know that one person I had was a 7-figure entrepreneur, and he didn't know where to send his wife because his wife was just struggling. So please fix her. And I sat down with this poor woman who was like, I don't need fixing, I just need something. Okay. So we decided for her to bring out her inner child. What did you enjoy when you were younger? Let's do it. And we walked outside in the rain, and she just started laughing. She said, I've never felt so free. So it's really doing the grounding exercises, allowing that inner self to shine, and finding out how, in the middle of being that boss or that executive, how can you pull from those moments to keep yourself balanced? And it doesn't stay in those moments. You start in those moments, because once we fill in the spots in your body that are missing, all those moments in clarity and grounding and tapping and feeling safe being touched, all those things, knowing who you are, and erasing and giving another name for trauma, instead of keeping it as I'm a survivor or I'm traumatized. No, you were a survivor, you were traumatized, now you're a warrior, now you're empowered, Now you can move forward. And then we step by step work on nutrition and all those grounding exercises, all those guided meditations. We do all that. And it's quite surprising how quickly you can regulate. And then it's a matter of learning those techniques and carrying them on day to day. And that's where the real work is.
That's what I would imagine, is sustaining it every day, the person
Yes.
walking away from your service and then really continuing to take the action, right? So,
Yeah.
and the other thing that's interesting that you were talking about is the piece about, the woman that went outside in the rain and she found, working on her inner child, right? And it sounds like allowing them to be who they are. And I think that's a big piece. I mean, in the executive branding world, that's a big piece, is how do we help the executive, parlay their personal brand and personally who they are and what they're really about with their professional brand. So I think that's super important. And I think that it does help people get unstuck, And what would be interesting to know is how they then go back to their day to day and maintain the balance between that. Let's say the one, like that woman that you mentioned, the balance between, now I'm feeling free and I'm feeling like I kind of know more of who I am, and I'm respecting that, and now I have to go back into my corporate position, right? So how do you see in your ongoing feedback, I think you mentioned to me pre-show that like after your work with them, the effect is in 90 days or something you mentioned, I might be wrong. But, when you hear back from them, what do they say about that piece in terms of maintaining the feeling of the authentic feeling in their corporate lives?
So we all know that in order to get a result, it takes repetition.
Yes.
But you can't build a result unless you continue it for a certain amount of time. So I have worked one-on-one for like anywhere from 1 to 5 days in person with them in privacy so that they don't feel as if someone's watching over them, and I go to their place so that they can go to a hotel somewhere and it's private, like incognito.
Yeah.
What I do is I give them the tools that we'd use during that time. We write it all out. We write out an action plan. And then when I leave, every single day, they're sent a text message or an email, however they want to receive it, even a phone message. And it's just something to work on during that day or a reminder of where they were. And then they have access to me for the full 90 days. But once a week, we have a Zoom call and it's an hour. And during that time, we discuss, where did you feel you were not maximizing your ability? Like, were you trying this? Did you try it this way? Okay, let's shift it a little bit. What if we did it this way? And sometimes it will trigger like, oh, I get this now.
Yeah.
And when we do that, at the end of that call, they have another 3 or 4 days to use that and maximize their ability. And then we get another Zoom call. But all that time, they're being supported by emails, text messages, with ideas, with journaling prompts, just things that are going to help them. Even I've sent them snack advice. Here, if you're feeling like you're losing your energy, try eating one of these 3 things and see if that just boosts you up a little bit. Or make sure you're drinking your water today.
Yeah,
And
those things are so important, actually.
exactly. And when I do it with the one-on-one, I find that they tend to really like stick with it. That first week when I go home and we have that Zoom meeting, they're like, we're good, we're on fire. It's day 30.
Yeah.
They're going, we're struggling. Okay, let's take it back to day 1. What's not working right? Did you come up with, did you bump up against something that was different? Let's get over that hump. And it's just learning how to advance yourself day to day. And at the end, at the 90 days, I go back to in person and we evaluate the 90 days. And we ask, what do you think you got from this? And what would you like to have more of? And then I create a plan for them to take forward. and they can choose to continue working, or they can just take that plan and go forward and check in 3 more months. So it's really a 90-day reset that they go through, very hands-on, and then so that, or we can do it in groups as well. But I find that a lot of the women that are in executive power, they don't want to. They want to maintain that I'm in power. And it's funny, they actually go back in and they're happier, and they are working less and achieving more, which is it's true, you know?
That's what everyone, that's the key with the executives, right? And I think in the work that I do, it's about having time to have more time to have impact than the day to day. And if you're allowing them to do that in a way, it's wonderful. And also that maintaining the energy is very, very, I think that's critical.
It is.
So I love that you touched on the nutrition, because I think nutrition, sleep, mental energy, these things, they're just it's critical for leadership.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. This is great. And so so your service is offered both in person and remote, is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So do you think that it has a similar effect either way?
It does. I think when it's in person or in a retreat style, where you get a few of your friends, or even groups within a company.
Yeah.
When we do it that way, and you have 3 to 5 days, that's really powerful. One-on-one is super powerful, but remotely is for the person that just wants to keep that safe distance, because they're not sure of who they are or what they are safe in. Yeah. So that's the building stage, when you can have those consultations remotely, and you just offer them, would you like to come here? Do you want me to go there? Just, and so it's really all about building trust, building that safety, and letting them know that I got your back and you've got me, and I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm going to, protect who you are, and I'm going to be there with you. You're not going to do this alone. And and I've actually had someone come to me for 3 weeks and stay in a hotel, and I've done everything with them over 3 weeks. So it's even a deeper, it's not just going there for 1 or 2 days. It's
that's right.
engaging.
And that's commitment. That shows commitment too.
It does.
This is what I need to do for myself, right? And that's smart.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it is very much action based, and so that person probably knows they have to take the time away from everything else to be able to concentrate. So I think that's perfect.
Exactly.
That's perfect.
Exactly.
So I always ask all my guests, when you learned of Warrior Women in Business, what kind of like perception did you have of the Warrior Women in Business? How does that come across?
Well, at first I was intrigued, because all I could think of was, big, strong women. And then I realized, well, I'm actually a warrior, because I've been through that survivorship. I've been where a lot of the people are today, and I've had to pull myself out of it. So everything I do with people, I've already done to myself, and I can tell you it works. So then I dug a little deeper into what it was, and I thought, that's me, because I'm no longer that survivor. I'm no longer that individual that doesn't have clarity as to where I want to be. I am going to fight for what I know is right. I'm going to fight to make sure that nobody else's voice is silenced. And given the climate right now, as women, we have to stick together. We have to be empowered. If we are not, we won't have a voice. So we need to stay vocal. We need to stay supported with each other. And that's what I see the Warrior Women in Business as being. It's not just an individual warrior. It's a complete group. And I am so proud to be part of it, because you guys do such great work. And like I told you earlier, I'm a little jealous, because I really wanted to be there in New York, because I wanted to support that so badly in person, because that's my passion. I want to reach out to these kids, these young people that don't know who they are,
Yeah.
because of what society has done to them. And I want to tell them, look where I am. Look where all these women are now.
Hmm.
You can be whoever you need to be and be a warrior. And that's what I really want to get out there. I am so impassioned by that.
Yeah. And I thank you. I mean, thank you for that. I think it is about, it's 100% about doing it together. It's
Mhm.
100% about doing it together. And I think everyone brings a unique position to the table. Everyone I've ever
Absolutely.
met. And this is why I've been doing personal branding for so long, because everybody is different. And I think everyone brings something unique and powerful to the table. Um, I think women as teams are like, at my event, I actually had, I think, 7 interns,
Oh,
right?
wow.
Yeah, because I wanted a tribe of girls
Yep.
that could have that experience. And I worked with them for like 30 days. It was crazy. But at the
Oh,
event, they all just came together, and it was so cool to see them come together. And
it
they all
is.
had different and unique talents to bring to support the event. And I think that's what women need to do in general. So I love that you said that. It's really, really important. So I mean, of course, I'm looking to do more of this impact work everywhere in Florida, LA. So yes, we'll definitely do an event together. I think there's a lot of women in Florida, a lot of women business owners, and I think it's really a growing state in terms of that. So I'm pretty excited about it, in terms of the opportunities that are there. Yeah.
It is very, and it's very health based, especially in my
Yeah.
area. It's all about um, the uniqueness of the climate, and you can stay and be healthy. And I just feel like there's a lot also poverty
Mm.
and a lot of trafficking and things of that nature as
Oh,
well. And that's why I feel like my voice can't be silenced. My voice
no.
should stay. My voice needs to stay powerful, and I won't be satisfied until I reach everybody.
Good.
That's when
Well,
I'll be satisfied. And at my age, that's not too much longer that I have to get.
oh, come on now. Come
So,
on now. We're all long livers here. And I
yes.
think, yeah, no. So yes, absolutely. I encourage, my other warrior women that are in Florida, reach out to Donna. And even if you're not in Florida, I'm actually a part of a concert, and Donna is coming. I'm really excited on Sunday. I go to Florida a lot. We actually have an office there, and I've been looking to support more women there. So we have a concert. It's not a Warrior Women concert. It's another charity that reached out to me to be a part of their concert in terms of my music. And so a lot of actually Warrior Women partners and members are supporting this event through the American Cancer Society. So that's outside of Tampa, and that's on Sunday. If anybody happens to be in that area and wants to come, please reach out and we can send you the information. A couple of other things I want to mention that we have coming up that are really important. So we are a direct partner of Women of Culture. They're a fabulous organization. We've been working with them since 2019 to support their events in New York, and you've probably seen it in our social media. We're always at their events and doing fun things with them. So we are co-hosting an event at the Met Museum, which is my favorite museum in New York, as an arts and culture ambassador in New York, and for a women's exhibit celebrating International Women's Day and Women's Month. That is specifically on March 22nd. That's the date that they've curated for this. So if you happen to be in New York and you'd like to attend that event, you need to be a Warrior Women member. It's a very limited engagement in terms of the number of people that we can have. So if you're interested and you're big into museums and women in art, please reach out on that as well. But we are planning events in Los Angeles in April and definitely in Florida. So with all that being said, I want to ask Donna, what's the best way for people to contact you?
So I can be reached either through the Warrior Women in Business,
Yes.
to do that, or you can reach me at Donna at vitalitybydonna.com. And my phone number for the business is
Well,
352.
that's in the directory.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's in the directory. Just so they
I remember
understand the
it. I was supposed
brand and just so
yeah,
they know your name and the brand is
yeah.
fantastic. So yeah, so we have
Okay.
a member directory. She's in the directory, but just so you know, if you want to check out her website, that's very important to get a better understanding of what she does. But I have a feeling, Donna, that we're going to be doing a lot of things in the future together.
I hope so. I look forward to it. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday, and I'm bringing a little guest for me with
I'm
you.
excited. I'm excited to meet your little guest. No warrior girl is too young
No, nope.
to be great. So that's it. So I think we're done with this spotlight. It's been really fantastic, Donna, and I actually learned quite a bit in our short 20 minutes. I've been talking about this, the importance of mental health for I don't even know how long, and it's just really like enlightening to me to see how much passion you have for it and what you're doing and really helping women. I think that it's a subject that people need to talk about more because it's just needed,
Definitely.
So, kudos to you for doing the work that you do, and I hope that more women can take advantage of it.
Me too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so for episode 75, Warrior Women, our website is warriorwomenbusiness.com. You can find us in all social media. My name is Jasmine Sandler. Please look for events that we have coming up, information about the membership. If you want to be spotlighted, if you want to connect with great women like Donna, please reach out to us at warriorwomenbusiness.com and have a wonderful weekend.